Okay, we got video going. We got audio going. And now I do this in 3, 2, 1. Wrong one.
I am not sure what this next man was trying to do. Seems like he tried to feed a huge snake with some fish, but he didn't expect the snake to bite his hand instead.
Tomorrow night, Gary Busey.
The Morning Stream. Tear out bad wood, put in good wood.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Morning Stream. It is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
It's already the 8th, man. We're just like...
Already the 8th. We're I mean, I knew once we got past TMS Vegas, the next couple months were going to fly by because it was just so much time like leading up to that, and the anticipation, the excitement, and now it's like,
yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it rushing by because literally, it's a week ago. We are preparing for our show at the Sand Dollar tonight. Yeah, like what?
Right, 1 week ago tonight would have been. So what are we actually going to talk about?
What do you want to do here?
What are we doing?
Are we actually going to do anything? No, it's just weird. Time is weird. I don't like time. Time F's with me, and I don't like it. No, sorry, I don't. Anyway, it's Wednesday. We got stuff. We got all kinds of things lined up, and I just wanted to do a quick report back. I think it was Brian's recommental, but I'm absolutely in love so far. 4 episodes in, anyway, at the 3-body problem.
Yeah.
So when I went into this, I wasn't sure what to expect. I don't know much about the book. I knew it was kind of beloved or whatever, but I didn't know what kind of sci-fi it was or what the deal was. And obviously, I've heard from some people who say, "Oh, it diverges from the book in some pretty major ways," but that's everything. All adaptations do that. So it doesn't really bother me. But this is just right up. Whatever alley I have, it's right up it. It's just right up.
Yeah, it feels like there's little devs a little bit in there. There's some there's the DNA of all these other things that we love that seems to fit.
Yeah, and there's still some big questions. Like I don't know how some of the stuff's going to resolve. And here's what's interesting: Keiko O'Brien, who's in it, she's awesome. Right, great actress, love her in this. But the person who and I don't know her name, it's not handy. The person who plays her younger self in the 70s. Holy crap, she's good.
She's so good,
really compelling actress. She just grabs me when she's talking mostly in Chinese. She talks mostly in Mandarin with subs, but then there's parts where she's fully talking in English, and she's probably for me pound for pound the most interesting character in the entire thing, and I still don't quite know where this shit is going. Like by episode 4, things are getting weird. And what's cool is my favorite so far was episode 3, and I told Brian this last night, but it's directed by Andrew Stanton of all people.
That blew my mind. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He's a capable director, but this Pixar guy who made Monsters Inc. and stuff. I guess he also did that failed attempt to bring John Carter from Mars or whatever.
Oh gosh, yeah, with what's his face from.
You gotta sack that because I never saw that. I'm not watching that till we sack it. Right?
Yeah, no, don't bother, please. Yeah, save it for the sack.
Save it for the sack.
Should be a phrase. Yeah. Should be a T-shirt. Save it for the sack.
Save it for the sack is a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm writing that down.
Cool.
That's really good. But anyway, it's awesome. Really into it. And if you were on the fence at all at home, I would recommend doing it. The what's his name? Benedict Wong is so perfect for this role.
He's great and
so good.
And Tarly, whatever, I can't remember that guy's name, but he's
Sam Tarly. Forget his real name.
Sam Tarly. Yeah, John Cunningham. No, something like that.
Borkenheimer. I don't know.
That's what it is. Yes, it's John Borkenheimer.
Yeah, his character's super interesting. Everybody's really good. And there's this Mexican actress who's in it. She's also, I guess, a pop star down there. I don't remember her name. Something Gonzalez. But anyway, she is
Isa Gonzalez, yeah.
She's really good.
She's really good. Compelling and moody and
She looks like what's her name from Blade Runner and Knives Out and everything.
Yes, Anna de Armas.
De Armas. They look like they're sisters.
They could be, yeah.
And they're from Mexico, so I assume they're sisters.
I mean, they're not, but they could be. John Bradley, by the way, is
Tarly.
Tarly.
Yeah, it's very good. So Brian, good job on the recommendation. I mean, this was a huge.
I questioned whether or not I want to recommend it because it's something I thought everyone's going to get around to watching anyway, but I wanted people to watch it sooner than later and not just say, I'll get to that. This is a thing that I think needs to be seen.
Who's the Onion Knight actor from Game of Thrones? And he's in this. He's a bearded old guy.
Not Jonathan Pryce.
No, he's great too, though.
He's great too. It's like everybody from Game of Thrones is in this.
Can't think of his name. Anyway, Four Finger Jr., the guy that lost.
Yes, right. He Liam Cunningham.
Yes, so good. And I read an interview with him yesterday because I was deep diving like you do with these things.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what got you interested in this role? He goes, I didn't even know what they were doing, but Benioff and Weiss were my favorite people I've ever worked with, and I heard they wanted me again. I said, well, yeah, whatever it is, I'm in. So he didn't even know what it was, and he was like, I don't care. I'll just be in it with these guys again, because I guess he really enjoyed his time on Game of Thrones. So anyway,
yeah,
it's really good, you guys. It's on Netflix. You should watch it, and we're gonna have new recommentals this week, but do not let this one sleep. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, quick question from Brandon from Minnesota, and then we'll get Dunaway in here. Yeah. He says. This is an email. He wanted to know why no Magic the Gathering. I'll read the whole thing. It says, hey, Sarah Angel and Black Lotus. Those are fancy cards, I guess.
Black Lotus, the most expensive card you can get, I think.
I think so.
The rarest.
I think that's still the rarest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That one that Post Malone bought was maybe the most highest price paid.
The One Ring,
Yeah. That may have been the highest price paid, but I don't think it's the most...
Right. Well, I mean, it's got to be the rarest card because there's only one, and I think there are multiple Black Lotuses. But
is that true? I didn't know that.
I think so. Not many Black Lotuses, but there's the One Ring that Post Malone bought. There is only one of that card.
Should go up and steal it. His house is just like
he's so close by. Yeah. I'm sure there's no security on his house whatsoever.
I'm sure there's nobody there. It's fine.
Yeah.
With a couple of cans of beer on the ground, an open door. I'll just walk in, grab it. It'll be
sure.
Fine. Exactly. Anyway, he says, I've been listening to TMS and other Frog Pants shows on and off since 2012. And I was thinking, with all the nerdy culture you all steep yourselves in, are we steeped? We're pretty steeped.
We're pretty darn steeped, sure.
Okay, I like that term. Why isn't there more dedicated segments on trading cards, such as Magic the Gathering? I'm surprised that they are rarely brought up, especially considering Scott made his own game. Perhaps Dan could incorporate this topic when he comes on. Love the show, though. Brandon from Minnesota. I think it's just that none of us are Magic players. That's all.
Yeah, or any other trading card game players. Not
really our
the
thing.
Closest, the closest I get is Marvel Snap, all these digital trading cards. Yeah. But even Dungeon Murder is not really a trading card game. Mm-mm. It's a card-based game, but it's not like Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or any of those where you've got a base deck and a packs that you buy and things like that.
That sort of thing requires a very special kind of business plan.
It requires I'm going to do nothing else with my life but create these cards.
Yeah.
That's when Scott, you get no TMS, you get no skim, you get no core, you get nothing else. You get Scott creating Dungeon Murder, the trading card game.
Yeah, you'll get none of those. Someone will make a title out of that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't need to do that.
No, it's fine. I love those. So whatever it takes, I'm totally fine.
You'll get no core, no.
Now it's just
I have not yet tried Lorcana, Loey, but I feel like if I am going to get into a physical card collecting game, that is the one I'm going to get involved with.
Lorcana.
And I've actually got I'm not going to say they're been talking with them in Discord, and they're sending me a bunch, like all of their extras. So they've got the base Lorcana. It's a Disney trading card game, and it looks really cool, really well thought of and thought of and creative and stuff like that. And they're sending me a big box of all their extras, and there's even somebody made a web-based version that you can play. Pixelborn is what it's called, and you can download it and play it on your computer, without actually having to have the physical cards.
Your
You download
device.
all the digital files of the cards and upload it into this Pixel-born thing.
Oh, you know what? I've seen these at a store now that I look at the display.
Yeah.
I didn't know what this was. I thought I didn't know it was Disney, I guess.
Right.
The Lorcana name is so huge on here. I guess if I had to look closer, I see Lion King and what's her bucket and the rest.
Evil Queen and stuff like that.
This looks nice.
Yeah, it's a really, and the artwork's really nice. It looks like it's a really good game. And I found a new card store near me. It's like, oh, cool, excellent. I'm going to go here and, they sell HeroClix. I'm not getting back into HeroClix. I've already got enough Marvel miniature people, but it's if I get into this Lorcana, I've got a place that I can go to satisfy my needs.
It looks cool.
It does.
Yeah. I'm not much of a collectible card dude, so just doesn't come up. But you know what? I'll bet Dan has some thoughts. Or at the very least, we can ask Dan, like, what's the temperature in tabletop gaming overall with deck collectors?
Right. Are they? Is it just the pillars of Magic, Pokemon, and now Lorcana? Are there others that are kind of up and coming and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'd be really curious about that.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, we do a show. Speaking of games, we do a game here.
It's time for a game.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull Dunaway in. We also need one of you to pipe up and let us know if you want to be our guest. And I'll take the third person who does it. But right now I have to welcome this weirdo to the show. Brian Dunaway joins us all the way from somewhere by Greenville, North Carolina. South Carolina. Sorry.
My God. Do you even know who I am? Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hi. What's going on, man? How's your week so far? How you doing?
I hadn't thought about it. No one's asked me, and so I haven't really put any thought into it. Let me see. How's my week been? It's been okay.
Yeah,
a few too many cicadas, a few too much allergies, and a way too much work. But I've got to do a lot of cool retro shit this week, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Well,
did you go buy your Mighty Ducks Laserdisc?
I did. We just got our support money, and I appreciate everybody out there. And I got my Laserdisc in yesterday, ordered from a guy in South Carolina. He shipped it. It come in a nice little sleeve and everything, and it's in pristine condition. Let's hope for no laser rot. And we're going to be watching some Mighty Ducks before we do it for Film Sack. Also, I have a VHS copy of Caddyshack. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
If everybody needs a copy, it's no problem. How many listeners we got? Not a problem.
Yeah,
I got a duplicating machine.
You can do whatever you need to do. Exactly.
Sure.
We just, my daughter and I and her friend, who are all doing prints and stickers and stuff, we just invested in this Epson printer that does like professional level like prints right here without having to do minimums and stuff. And I'm terrified about this thing, and I don't know why I'm even bringing it up, but I hate, you know what's going to happen? Here's what'll happen. It'll do an amazing job, do some really cool stock. I'll have some amazing prints poop out of this thing. And then you know what'll happen? It'll say, you're out of whatever these toner cartridge things are.
Right.
And then it's going to say to refill them, that'll be a mortgage on your house and 5 years of servitude in order to afford this.
Is it still true that printer ink is more valuable than gold per ounce? I don't know if that's still true or not.
We did an article about this on TMS a while ago, a few weeks ago. I remember because we found stuff that is more expensive than printer ink by per ounce.
Yeah.
By weight.
Yeah.
But it's up there.
Weight.
It is freaking up there. All right, we have a caller on the line. Our third caller today. Oh, it's our old pal. Janny.
Yana?
Yan
Uni. What?
Yes.
Are we saying it right as usual?
No.
Was I close? Was I the closest?
Yan.
Yes.
Yawn.
Very well.
Yana.
All right.
Well
Yana.
done, Brian.
Yana.
Thank you.
Brian's good at names. I'm shitty at them.
I'm so terrible with names. Now, are you excited for Eurovision? It's going on. It's all the thing right now.
Yeah, we watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. The
bands.
preliminaries, or is it? Is it? I guess it's just one. There's not like finals or semifinals. It's just one long event, and then they choose a winner, kind of thing.
They had half the countries yesterday, and tomorrow the second half.
All right.
And the finals is on Sunday.
Are you rooting for anybody in particular? I mean, the home team, obviously, but
The Irish
really,
song was quite interesting.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You just get out with clogs
Listen,
and
I'm protesting it. I'm protesting Eurovision until they let America in. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to support it. Not going to.
You just have to,
Eurovision's like fine.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I do want to watch it at some point. I might pop in on Saturday when everything's going on with the tadpole.
You know how mad it would make, because I know there's some Asian countries and other stuff that participate, but you know how mad the whole thing would be if we got in there. They'd be so mad.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Nobody wants us in there.
but Australia is there,
Yeah.
so why not?
Yeah.
Australia is, exactly,
if you're gonna let the Queen's prison colony in, you'll let anyone in. Well, anyway, this is great. We're excited to have you, man. Brian, why don't you take the reins here and tell us what's at stake? What's on the line?
Okay, well, it's time to play the Tadpooly Feud. I've surveyed the tadpole on some nerdy topics. Scott and Brian are going to predict the answers that they gave us. It's their job to see how many of those answers they can guess. Yana, your job is more important than ever because you're going to be working with either Scott or Brian. And if your team wins, you get a prize package that includes Hero of the Kingdom 2 and Golfy.
Oh, Golfy.
Golfy.
That's adorable.
It's a cute little name, and I'm guessing it's a cute little golf game.
I don't know what either of those are. I don't think I've heard of them. But that's a rare thing. And you know what? So it'll be a surprise to you as well. Jenny.
Every time you say rare thing, I'm such a, we do so much retro stuff. Every time you say rare thing, I think rare Ray made it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nope. They did not make that. Cool.
Well, keep that thing in mind. No, don't, because it really doesn't have anything to do with this. Let's give you your topic. We asked 455. Can't talk this morning. 455 tadpoolers. Their best answer to this. Put your hands on your buzzers and tell me, what is your favorite Pixar character?
Damn it.
Brian.
Wally.
Wow, was that a Stitch impersonation? I'm trying to tell. I can't tell if that was a Stitch impersonation.
That's a callback, you guys. That's good.
Yes, it is.
I like that.
Show me Wally.
Number one?
Number one answer on the board. That means we don't even have to take a guess from Scott because there's no way to beat it. And you get Yana as a partner in crime.
That absolutely shocks me. Wally number one. Wow. All right.
Number one.
Know your tadpole. Know your tadpole.
Exactly. All right.
So.
Yana and Brian, what did the tadpole say is their favorite Pixar character?
That's a great question. Are you a big Pixar fan?
Somewhat.
Very good. Do you have a favorite Pixar character in mind? Lukewarm.
Remy.
Gotcha. Who is it?
Remy.
Maybe.
Okay.
Rat.
Oh, Remy the Rat. That's a good one.
Remy the Rat.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Sure.
Put it in my hat. Let him drive.
Let him pull your hair. Show me Remy the Rat.
Oh,
number 12. Just a couple spots.
Oh, that was right out there.
But
you're right.
Out of the running. Yeah.
Patton Oswalt makes me happy in that movie.
Yeah.
Love it.
He does. Yeah. It does. When when you see they for a while had these hats you could buy at Disneyland that were chef's hats that had a light inside and a little mechanical Remy that just moves his arms back and forth. So it looked like he was controlling you. It was like a little transparent. It was really cool.
That's pretty great.
I have one in my butt. Oh,
I'm sure you do.
Whoa, hello.
A Remy in your butt.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me work on a new Infinity Gauntlet stand for those.
Another callback.
Scott, that means it's your chance to score some points here. There's 1 point on the board for Brian and Yana, but anything you get right now, if you get a correct answer, we'll.
Well, again, the board's wide open, Scott. Come on.
I'm going to aim for some higher points here. So let's get Woody in there. I think Woody's in there.
Woody. Let's put Woody in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. There's a snake in my boot. Show me Woody.
Yeah.
Number two. Look at that. You've got twice as many points as Brian right now.
For whatever reason, I thought that would be lower on the list.
Lower?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Woody.
He's a big name.
Wally, Woody, come on. It's all W names that begin with W that end with an E sound at the end. So
how about Mike Wazowski? Everyone loves him.
Speaking of which, right? Wazowski, Woody, Wally, why not, right?
Let's do it. Let's get all the W's in there.
To Billy Crystal.
I'm watching you. All right, show me Mike Wazowski. Number 5, giving you 7 points total right now.
Okay.
Brian's 1.
I'm trying not to get my favorites mixed in with what are obvious here.
Sure.
So Buzz Lightyear's probably on here. Let's get him out of here.
All right.
Let's do it.
Show me Buzz.
He's no Woody.
He's no Woody.
Yeah.
To number 3 and beyond. There you go. Taking
Okay.
up to 10 points.
None
of those high point ones.
Hard.
Yeah, we're getting into the nitty and the gritty here. One of those names on the right side of the board, untouched, undiscovered.
There's one I really want to be on here, so I'm going to say it. Let's do Merida from Brave.
Ooh, that's a good one. I do love Merida.
Yep, lots of red hair to animate with Pixar technology. Show me Merida.
Ooh,
Number 8. Yeah, popular
Nice.
with the Tadpole. That was a Nerdtacular movie, it was one
2012.
It was during a Nerdtacular, yeah.
Yeah, we all went. I think it was the next day. We all went and met at the theater and did it.
Yeah,
Merida.
that's right.
Merida.
Yep.
Okay. Boy, howdy here.
Howdy.
Wonder if that shark is on this list.
Right.
That'd
be great.
All right.
It was a squeezy shark, right? With the little squeezy thing in his belly where it goes.
Yeah, I think so.
How about who's the old guy and up?
Easy.
The old guy and up.
There you go.
Carl. Is it Carl?
Carl. Yeah, Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, say Carl.
All right.
Sure.
I'll say Carl.
All right. Show me Carl from Up.
Ooh.
Carl Fredrickson, number 9 in the list there. Holy mackerel.
How
Making
about
quick work of this list. 27 to
you.
Brian's 1. So I think we're gonna have to see some
You don't have to say that.
we're gonna?
well, you're still not out of the running here, Brian and Yana, but
That's true. Van's favorite character, Crush, the turtle from
sure,
Nemo.
the turtle from Finding Nemo. Yeah.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we like him.
Show me Crush.
Oh shit!
No, Crush was popular. Where is Crush? There it is, number 16. Crush was in there, but not that high.
That's fair.
Yawn, is Ratatouille more popular in European areas or is it just
European.
I love
areas.
Ratatouille. Is it yeah.
Well,
I
it's
love
about
Ratatouille.
fine dining and not about trash food. So I guess it's more
I got the angle now.
European audience.
I gotcha.
I love it when you come on. There's the most sardonic. He's the most sardonic player we ever get, and I love it. It's just perfect.
That's my favorite. You play along well. I love it. So we got Mike Wachowski on there. But I always preferred Sullivan.
Sully,
the other Monsters Inc. And I just watched this recently, and it's on my head. You have another guess before we
No, that's a perfect.
throw that in? All right. So
Yeah.
give us some Sully work there.
Sure.
Sully wants to see Boo.
Gotta have your John Goodman to your Billy Crystal, right? Show me Sully.
Oh!
Are you kidding me?
That seems wrong.
Number 14 in the list.
Oh man, we've done 12 and 14 right outside the list, man.
The problem I'm having here is that Tadpole. If it was little kids, I know what they would do, but I can't. So
What are you thinking?
Some parents may have done it. All right, I'm going to go with one that seems like low-hanging fruit and go with Dory from Dora.
Oh,
Dory.
sure, Dory.
Sure.
Dory
Had to
the
find her
Explory.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, part 2, Finding Dora.
Yeah.
Dory,
Dora.
the map.
Dory the
The
Explorer.
map.
Show me Dory.
Damn it!
No,
What the
Dory. 13 actually, down on the list there.
I'm a little shocked by that.
I'm trying something new, by the way. That if you do get 11, based on a suggestion from a listener, if you get number 11, you don't get any points for it, but I will give you another guess. As like a little
I like
bonus
that.
for
that.
Yeah.
We're getting the one that's just out of the running, but
That's
nobody's figured out what number 11 is yet.
No, but that's a cool idea. I like
so,
that.
yeah, it's fun.
It's rare enough that that'll be fun when it comes up.
Exactly. It's like a little perk. Like, oh, well, just out of the running, but guess what? You get another one,
Yeah.
and I don't count a strike against you, so you get
Oh, nice.
obviously.
All right.
All right. Well, you
Now-
got 4 answers left on the board, Brian. What you gonna do?
All right, so what you gonna do when they come? I'm thinking I watched the Bad Boys trailer. So, what do you think? You think maybe
Mater.
Let's see. I was about to say Mater, but I was like, surely no one's favorite is Mater, even though we loved it. But let's give us some Mater love. Let's from Cars, please.
All right.
I'd like to see that Snaggletooth Mater, please.
Show me Toe Mater. Oh, number 19 on the list is Mater, and as far as I'm concerned, that's still way too high for Mater. But that was your third strike. So now,
when Cars first came out, I really liked Mater, but I was also, watching Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader and everything else at that point in our lives. We were having a moment with our redneck humor, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and I had enough of that moment.
Well, you hate hillbilly humor, which
I do. I totally
adjacent.
do. Yeah. I can't think of any greater hell than going to that tour that had Larry the Cable Guy, Foxworthy.
Blue collar tour?
I could not I'd go to a Dream Theater concert, and I've gone to a Dream Theater concert. That's a bad comparison. I would sit through an Anthrax concert before I sat.
It's just so one note. Like the third guy was different. He kind of had a different edge to him. The one that drank.
Yeah, White. Yeah, he was a drunk.
Ron White.
Ron White. Ron White had more material, but these other two,
I'd be in the bathroom for all the other comedians.
Yeah, it's so one. The problem is
concession stand or something.
The problem is it's so one note.
Ron White sweating the booze though.
That's true.
Hard to watch.
That's true. But I'm saying those other two are just so one note. It's like, hey, the South, am I right? And that's it. That's their jokes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just I don't know, not my thing.
Listen, I will not yuck anybody's yum. If you like those guys, absolutely more power to you. Enjoy them.
I think it was a product of his time. There was just a moment where it was like it was really fun to just go all in, and and it's.
You know what would help me is if Larry the Cable Guy was actually like that, then I would have some authenticity to it, and then I would feel better about it. But because I know that dude's like a Canadian normal talking guy.
I like him better.
I hate that.
Really?
I hate that it's a character.
Paul. Yeah, that's the other one in there.
Would you want Paul Rubens to be like Pee Wee Herman all the time?
Yes. Oh, by the way, I'm watching The Good Wife with Kim.
Yeah.
Alan Cumming should, if they ever do a biopic, he may be too old now, but if they ever do a biopic of Pee Wee Herman, just get Alan Cumming to do it.
Oh, he's got a very Paul Rubens looking face. Yeah. He really does.
And he does a great American accent. He's great.
I was going to say, having him do that, I know you are, but what am I? Kind of thing ought to be hilarious.
I could hear it. All right, it's back to me, right? It's on me here.
Back to you, and you need to run the board in order for Yanni to get these prizes. So
all right.
You can do this. You can do this.
I think there's still a lot of love out there for Syndrome. He's a villain, but people like Syndrome. So I'm going to say...
So not Frozone?
No,
okay.
I'm going to say Syndrome. Forget about Frozone.
And not Joy from the upcoming emotional movie?
Well, we might be able to get her in there. I don't know if she's anyone's favorite. It's the problem.
Okay.
I mean, the fact they didn't do Sully is a mind-boggler to me. So
it is.
Yeah. I mean, they said him. He just wasn't high on the list. He wasn't in the top 10. Oh, all right. Going with Syndrome?
Let's do Syndrome.
Show me Syndrome.
Please be on there. Are you kidding me?
No. Why would Syndrome be the most popular character from The Incredibles? Scott, Syndrome.
Everyone loves him.
Syndrome is down here, tied for 37th place with one vote.
I know. I mean, you had Edna to choose from.
I'll bet Edna Mode's on there.
Oh,
yep,
Edna Mode, you say? Yeah, number 6.
Shit.
Anybody else?
Joy. Is Joy on there?
Joy.
I thought you were going from The Incredibles.
Oh, Mr. Incredible then. Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible, you say. Number 10.
How about Elastigirl? Nice. She on there?
Lower on the list, outside the top 10. Frozone was number 11. That would have gotten you an extra guess.
Yeah.
Give me Doug.
Doug, number 7. Come on, you people. Why aren't you coming up with these during the actual
Please tell
game?
me number 4 is John Ratzenberger. Tell me that's what people did.
It is not, but that is hilarious. It is a character you see in every single Pixar movie.
Luxor Jr.
Luxo. Yep.
Luxor.
Luxor.
It's Luxor.
I'm Luxor from the planet Luxor.
Should have been Luxor. Why would they go with Luxo? That's so stupid.
Yeah.
those are your top 10. Just kind of rounding a few of these out. Frozone, I said, was number 11. Bing Bong, number 15.
Oh,
Lightning McQueen, so a little bit more love for the cars.
Yeah.
Joy, number 20. Nemo, Jack. Kevin
Jack.
from Up, the bird, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slinky
Cool
Dog,
characters.
Flick from A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Who
Anger-
remembers Flick? Come on.
Me, I
Come on,
remember. I
Flick is
love
great.
Flick.
Yeah.
Bug's Life's
I love
awesome.
Flick.
Yeah.
But nobody
what's
remembers
his face
A
from
Bug's
Kids
Life.
in the Hall. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it, but nobody remembers that.
I do.
Anger, Baymax, Boo from Monsters Inc.
Dang it.
Does Baymax count? Baymax is Disney Studios. It's
What
not Pixar.
counts is what the tadpole says.
That's right.
So Tadpole, you're
Bruce
wrong.
Bruce from Finding Nemo,
Bruce
Mei
the
Lee
shark.
from Turning Red,
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head, Rex, Russell, the Boy Scout from Up, Sadness from Inside Out. A lot of love for Inside Out, which
Yeah.
is great.
That movie's great.
Coming up, too.
Wreck-It Ralph.
That's also Disney, but okay, we'll take it.
Yep. Let's see. Bo Peep, Barley Lightfoot from Onward,
Who likes Bo
Coco,
Peep?
just Coco again.
Just Coco.
Just Coco. Corey the Manticore from Onward, Duke
nice.
Kaboom. Let's see. Frozone's wife. A little love for.
Oh, I
Have you
like
seen
that.
my super suit?
She
Frozone's wife.
Frozone's wife was always like George Wendt's wife on Cheers.
I
Just
don't think
off
you
somewhere.
ever see her, right?
Yeah. I
She's
think you
always,
hear, but you never see her. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Heimlich the Caterpillar. Getting
Oh, my
some love
God.
as
Wow.
well.
I love
But,
it.
Really?
like,
Okay.
Yeah, Bug's Life, I think it's fantastic, and maybe it's underrated. I think it needs another.
Oh, it definitely does. But anytime I mention Bug's Life to anybody, people just look at me like, "What?"
That's because
Yeah.
it's old and they don't. And Toy Story kept making sequels, and it's their
I
second
like the
film.
games. We got to talk about that PlayStation Bug's Life game.
Those were bad
really?
games. Those are bad video
I
games.
know.
It's
Yeah.
fragile. I remember Tristan rented that from a Blockbuster or some.
Mm.
Maybe it was Netflix when they were also renting games or whatever the service was, and there was like an egg you had to transport, and it just kept saying, "Watch out, that egg is
Yes.
fragile."
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. But I just love a thing where you can get Dennis Leary to play a ladybug. I mean, come on. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That movie rocks.
What else?
I was
Toy
more
Story,
Camp Camp
Aliens,
anyway.
Violet Incredible or Violet
Oh.
Parr,
Violet, daughter.
Reflux. I don't
Reflux.
remember Reflux. Was that one of the unnamed Inside Out characters?
No, that's the dude that barfed on command, and it was like lava in Incredibles 2.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
That was Reflux.
I didn't watch the second one.
Yeah, you didn't?
And
Why?
then,
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to trigger Scott.
Oh, you got me. You got me.
and then your people trying to be funny. Mario, Minions, Shrek, and
Mario.
what's another one here? We get all you people out of the way. Jafar, come on now.
I fired up Shrek last night. I'm the talkingest damn thing you ever seen.
You fired it up. What'd you watch it on? VHS?
Shrek. Actually, I was testing out the Amazon whatever the Echo thing, the video one. What's that thing? Stupid
Oh,
thing
the
called?
Echo 5. The
8.
Oh,
the 8-inch.
Yeah, the one that has the swingy around monitor that follows you around the kitchen. That one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one way to watch Shrek, I suppose.
That is one way to watch.
I was just seeing if it would connect.
Walk
I was like,
around,
yeah, looks
walk
like it
around
works.
while it follows you around. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, here's the good news and the bad news. Actually, it's just bad news. Yanni, you've lost. You're gonna
I'm
have.
sorry, I failed you, Brian.
Yeah, you're terrible.
You didn't tell me.
Brian's a terrible partner.
Because you
though.
guys didn't
Hey,
think about
hey.
the Incredibles until it was too late.
Yeah.
This must have
Yeah.
been the worst result ever, right?
No, not ever. We've had worse than this, haven't we?
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, I don't think this is
Really?
that bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
54-1. I know those points came because I gave all the other answers. What was the actual score before I started giving the other answers?
Now, how do we know that?
I don't know.
Well,
Start-
let's see.
Can you
didn't
subtract
get-
them?
Yep, I can.
There you go.
I'm going to do that right now.
I think I was
didn't get
20.
You
I was
didn't
like,
get Edna, you didn't get Doug, and you didn't get Mr. Incredible. So 27-1 was the final score.
Oh, that's not bad.
Before I started.
you know what? I
the
feel
final
I
score.
feel pretty good about that. And also the final score reference is also appreciated.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yanni,
So-
go ahead, Brian.
Yeah,
Sorry.
these prizes will go back into the hopper, and we'll try to give them away on Monday
From A Bug's Life?
Yeah, from A Bug's Life.
from A Bug's Life.
See you, Big J. or Y.
Big J,
if you
I like
pronounce
that. I like
J.
when people just come up with random names for people.
it. Yeah. See you later,
See you,
Big J. I like him a lot. He cracks me up.
Yeah.
Dunaway, I like you a lot as well, and that's
Aw,
good
you.
because this weekend we have to hang out together and do video game coverage on the Play Retro Show. Why don't you tell people what we're doing this week?
We're very excited. We're doing some Odd World Abe's Odyssey and Exodus.
God, I
One and two,
love those
2D ones.
games.
They were good, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were very
They
good.
were.
Press the Y button to fart and distract the guys.
I sent Scott a link earlier with a video made specifically for him.
That's
Yeah.
all about the farting thing. In fact,
Yeah,
is this
all
it?
about the
Here,
farting thing.
let's play.
Hello. Wait. Follow me.
God,
So much
oh
fun.
my God! I can't. I'm going to watch Play Retro this week because I love those games.
That brings
I
back
they're
the
so much
memories.
fun.
The remastered, redone ones are very good.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, and a lot of them are on sale right now on Good Old Games.
Mhm.
I found the most recent one they did, the remake of Exodus. What's it called? Soul. So anyway, it's like 90 cents on Fanatical. So I mean,
Why
super
wouldn't-
easy to get in right now.
Yeah, why wouldn't you get them? You'd be dumb not to.
Yeah.
Also, kiss our butts. Oh shit! I'm in the
Oh
wrong.
no, you! Haha.
Damn it! Got
Ooh,
me.
gotcha. He got you there.
I was on the wrong tab. All right. Well done, everybody. That was super fun, as always.
Yeah.
Boy, that's an interesting one because I don't know. I'm surprised how much Pixar stuff. Like I thought Syndrome was going to be like in the top 3.
He's certainly a fun character, but come on, Edna is the true star of The Incredibles.
Yeah,
and,
Edna Mode is great. You know, it's
Yeah.
great. 2 of those characters we mentioned, Edna Mode and Flash, are both the directors doing the voices for those characters. They were supposed to be spec voices, meaning just temporary, and then
Oh,
somebody would
really?
come
Like
and do
just
them.
placement so they could get the animation going and
Yeah,
stuff?
but they liked it so much, they're like, we're just keeping it. So good job, everybody involved. The other one recently like that was, what did I read about? Oh, and Dune. You know the first Dune movie when Paul is watching quote unquote tapes of educational stuff about Arrakis and everything,
Yes.
and the guy's going,
Yeah.
on the planet Arrakis, the spice is a that guy talking. That's director of photography. And they liked his
Oh, really?
they liked his delivery so much, Villeneuve's like, we're just gonna use it.
Oh, that's great. Oh my God, no, I had no idea.
Or in his parlance, he would say, "Wee wee, poo poo," and then they used it.
Yeah, clear. That's exactly what he would say.
That's
Yes.
right. We're
Clearly a master of the French language.
gonna do a quick news item, just one, because we got time,
Cool.
and that's what you're gonna get right now. It's time for the news, and it's brought to you by.
Rich kid leaves home due to abusive uncle, gets adopted by nihilistic gay couple.
Any guesses?
This might be the stumper. This might be the one that gets me. I was thinking about this and I was like, all right, well, it's not obviously these are always sugar coated and never tell the true story, but you boil it down to this weird kind of essence to get to it. And it was like, all right, well, I've got like North stuck in my head. I know it's not that. Peter Parker had an uncle, but no, he wasn't abusive, so that ain't it. I was trying to think of like, all right, who's got a nihilistic gay couple in their film? I got nothing. I'm
All right, I'll give some credit to Yawn, who was just here. He got it correct. It is The Lion King.
The Lion King. Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. Now here's
Okay.
why I think this one is
all right.
especially
Well, all right.
sneaky.
Timon and Pumbaa we're saying that they're in a relationship.
See, that's the trick. Is you have to, that one's a jump. That's a leap.
It's a little bit of a leap.
Also, rich kid
But
implies
they,
money, and there was no real
Nihilistic
money.
is dead on the money because they, it's no worries for them. Everything.
Yeah, they're for sure. But the rich kid part is also a little sus. I don't know if that works because he didn't.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Didn't have money. He was. Just,
I mean, because he's a right. I mean, he owned everything that the sun touched.
yeah,
right,
rich-
so-
I guess that's rich in the
That's rich.
jungle.
He doesn't have to be monetarily rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole Timon and Pumbaa, whether they were actually gay or not. I don't know.
I mean, you could have said nihilistic same-sex couple, or whoever put these together could have said nihilistic same-sex couple, and would be a lot more vague about their orientation.
I'm just glad I finally got one that you didn't get right away. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're usually very
no,
good
that's
at these.
that was that's good. Good job, Giannis. He should get the prizes just for figuring that one out.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Yawn, wrong game.
Yep.
Let's move on to this story. Just a quick story. A rare tornado That's been happening a lot lately. These weather patterns create a lot of tornadoes. It's tornado season for a lot of locations around the country and maybe the world. Well, anyway, a rare tornado spinning the wrong direction, or the opposite of normal direction, we should say, which makes it wrong, formed over Oklahoma. Of course it did. That's where everybody gets their tornadoes.
Sure.
We had the
actually
best
putting
tornadoes.
cows back in pastures instead of lifting them up.
That's right. They lift them up. They spin them around the car.
Assembling houses.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome if that's what this thing
That'd
did.
be great. Yeah, it's just like Superman spinning the world backwards kind of thing.
It says, in the northern hemisphere, the vast majority of tornadoes spin counterclockwise. I didn't actually know that.
I didn't know that either.
But in rare cases, just 1 to 2% of the time.
Coriolis effect or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
They go the wrong way, moving clockwise instead. That's exactly what happened this week when a powerful thunderstorm raged across southwest Oklahoma. And meteorologists were surprised to see this rare weather phenomenon called an anti-cyclonic tornado.
Okay.
On the the evening of April 30th in Tillman County, just across the border from Texas. Let's see. In unconventional spin aside, the tornado was also unusual because for a while it was nearly stationary, according to the National Weather Service. I guess they're always moving, and it's weird to have them hold still.
Yeah, no kidding.
That alone is uncommon, as tornadoes typically move in the same path as their parent thunderstorm. And while most anticlonic or cyclonic, rather, tornadoes are brief and feeble, brief and feeble.
Oh, the feeble tornado.
Yeah, that's what I want them to say about me when I die. He was brief and feeble.
It was a feeble tornado, that one.
That's right. Thank goodness he was brief. Let's see. This one was incredibly powerful, with radar showing it had lifted debris thousands of feet into the air. But then it went away. They don't stay around very long. But that's interesting that they always go, for the most part, counterclockwise with very rare occasions. And I don't know why that would be. Like, they don't get into that in the article. But I'd love to talk to somebody who would understand that sort of thing. Is it equator thing? Is it rotation of the Earth thing? Is it I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. It's not like toilets, right? Where you go down to... It's a myth anyway, isn't it? That if I go to
It is, yeah, that they spin the other way. Like when you flush in Australia, the water spins around the other way. But there's, I mean, it was the Coriolis. I hope I'm getting this right, and Bobby can correct me if I'm wrong. It's the Coriolis effect is what causes.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and so toilets will be affected by just about anything, the way the water rushes in from the tank, but it's in larger things, whirlpools and things like that, tornadoes, cyclones. You will get things going the different direction.
Chris in the chat says, right hand rule. This is weird. Make a thumbs up with your right hand. Then spin is your fingers. What?
The spin is your fingers. The direction of uplift is your thumb. Make a thumbs up with your right hand. The spin is your fingers. Okay. So
meaning coming around like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
No way. So are you saying that south of the equator, when they make a fist with their fingers, their fingers go on the outside of their hand?
Around like this? Yeah, like a glitched video game. Just like...
Right, exactly.
That's funny. Yeah, I'd never heard of that before. Wow.
That's interesting, yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
All
Bobby
right.
backs me up. Yeah, weather is affected by the Coriolis effect, but toilets are not. Toilet part is a misconception. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Chuck one up for Brian, get one right. Thank
That's
you very
right.
much.
That's right.
Mark this date in the calendar.
I did have a Hong Kong toilet that went the way I'm not used to, but I think it's because the water was shoving it that way. It was like a flush went that direction. It was like a urinal.
Yeah. How come when I hear you say Hong Kong toilet, I want to sing it? Hong Kong toilet, faster than the human eye. Hong Kong toilet, number one super guy.
Well, because
Watch my poop say goodbye.
Hong Kong Phooey, man. It's a powerful bit of business. That's Tom Merritt's favorite cartoon, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he grew up with it, so...
Yeah.
And he's coming on next, so maybe we'll tease him about it. We'll see.
We'll tease him about it,
Yeah. Tom Merritt coming up next. We got recommentals after that. All that and more after this break. Brian, what are we doing?
Well, we've got a band. I'm going to read the actual stuff, courtesy of the O'Donnell Media Group, the PR label that sent me this stuff. Irish folk Celtic rock band Jolly Jackers, I'm sure nobody's going to have any problem with that, unveiled their latest masterpiece. It's called Welcome to the Grind. This is a brand new album. Came out April 26th. Now, these guys have that style, right? That Irish folk style. They're from Hungary. but
Wow.
but they sound like you're gonna love this. It's a lot of fun. And people saying, "Come on, Hungarians creating Irish folk. They're not supposed to do that." I'll just remind you of a little Boston band called the Dropkick Murphys that aren't from Europe either.
Right.
Hey, here are the Jolly Jackers and a song that I just can't imagine would be familiar to anybody in the tadpole here, but it's called "I'm Not Drunk" from their brand new album Welcome to the Grind. Here are the Jolly Jackers.
Hell do you think you are, you bastard?
Occupied!
Oh, do tell me one more time who that was, please.
Sure, that's a Irish folk Celtic rock band, Jolly Jackers, and their song "I'm Not Drunk" from their brand new album Welcome to the Grind.
Prove it, you can't. All right, excellent. Let's get Tom Merritt all up in it.
Yeah.
We teased it. We may as well actually do it. Whoa! What is that? I don't know what to make of that sound that we just had.
That was fun.
Wow.
That was Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy.
You heard that too? Okay.
That was so loud. What was that?
I am glad it went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
I am too. That was really something. I was worried about you.
That's some tech I don't want any time with. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Discord.
Yeah. It sounded like Tom was in a factory setting or something.
So exactly. It sounded like he was like they were stapling pamphlets.
I'm here at the foundry.
Yeah, it did sound like it. Well, you sound fine now, and that's good because Tom Merritt is here to talk tech. Oh, that's right, everybody. Tom Merritt. We haven't seen you in about a week. Physically, and
I know. I feel like it was really nice to be in 3D space with you both.
It really was. Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was sad when you left, and then my goal was the day after you left, I was going to text you and say, "Hey, hope you arrived okay. Thanks again for being here. You're awesome," and all this. And then I completely spaced doing it, so I'll do it now. Thank you, Tom, for your involvement and your fun last week, and all that. That was great.
For being part of yet another Taskville, which is great.
Oh, I love being part of Taskville, even though I totally don't do it right ever, and that's part of the fun.
Yes, you're stacking dice and then just saying, "That's as high as the dice want to be."
You know
stacked.
what? That's as good. That's as good as we need. We don't need to go too far.
Yeah, but our improv,
I don't have a proper competitive spirit, but I'm so sorry.
That's all right. No, that's okay.
Our improv.
At some point, I'll find your competitive spirit. We're going to bring it out.
Yeah, it'll be out of there somehow. But that improv stuff we did.
It's hiding in there somewhere. Also, big thanks to Scott Johnson to Kim Johnson for carting me around. It was so fun doing rides in the car with you and Carter, and that was one of my favorite things I've ever done. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you were our number 4 in the car. We had a room. For our fourth,
I felt like an
guy.
honorary Johnson.
Well, it was a good time. And
did you end up having Dupar's pancakes, by the way, when you guys went over to Suncoast?
I did not have the pancakes because I've had them before at the Dupar's here in LA.
Oh, right, because you rave about Dupar's as well.
Oh yeah, Dupar's is great. Yeah. But I did enjoy a little egg and sausage.
Yeah, it was good, and the chairs were sticky, which tells you the pancakes are great.
Mm-hmm. That's all that syrup.
I crave them all the time now. So thanks a lot.
The only place in Vegas where you want the chairs to be sticky, right?
That's right. The only. Well, it's good to have you here, Tom. We're going to talk some tech. It's kind of a big week for that because we got all this Apple shit and everything else going on.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, do you want to talk about the Apple stuff? And when we broke it down yesterday on DTNS, Apple Vision Show did a great job talking about it. We're going to talk about the Pencil with you today on DTNS, but I can talk all about the iPads a little bit, and then I have another interesting story that I think will be relevant to those who like to play video games on laptops.
Oh, interesting.
My vote would be for that.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
I feel like the Apple stuff is like just a little speed bump, right? Like, all right, we're bumping it up to the next level of speed.
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
The short version is better looking screens. The M4 processor makes its debut in an iPad instead of in a laptop. It's kind of interesting. We're getting WWDC in just about a month. So we're going to get a bunch of software stuff out of that. But yeah, if you've been waiting to buy an iPad, well, here you go. now you don't have to wait.
Yeah, we'll get in today. We'll talk and on the DTNS proper. We'll talk deeper about what this means for digital artists, because this is kind of who it was aimed at. We'll talk about the price increase. We'll talk about that textured screen technology they're using for if you choose to upgrade to it. All that kind of stuff is really interesting. So that if you're looking for that, we'll have a pretty good segment on it on DTNS today. Looking forward to it. But instead, tell me about this laptop game business. What's going on?
Okay, so Micron is shipping a new upgradable memory module called LPCAM2, LPCAMM2. The module they're shipping, because that's the form factor, the module they're shipping will use LPDDR5X RAM. So good, fast RAM that's power efficient. What's awesome about LPCAM2's form factor is it's less than half the size of a SODIMM. And if you're like, hold on, alphabet soup, I'm lost here. All it means is you can upgrade RAM that is smaller and just as fast and power efficient as the previous upgradable RAM. Now, that has the immediate benefit of you can make a gaming laptop that is thinner and has better battery life. But also, you get the faster RAM of LPDDR5X, which some of you probably already know this, but that kind of RAM, which you want for a gaming laptop, previously had to be soldered and you couldn't upgrade it. And the reason it had to be soldered was not because they wanted to stop you from upgrading. It was because the low voltage that gave you the power efficiency meant that you really couldn't make a good upgradable interface that didn't lose signal. So soldering was the only way to ensure that signal. LPCAM2 actually lets you have the best of both worlds. Low power voltage, seated close enough to the CPU with a cool new interface, so you can keep that signal integrity and still have the low voltage. There is only one laptop available with it yet, Lenovo's ThinkPad P1 Gen 7, but everyone's on board with this. Yeah. Dell created it and then made it an open standard. Micron developed it. Lenovo's already shipping it. Samsung is on board with it, and ADTA is on board with it. And there's a few others out there as well. So there's a good chance you start to see this in more laptops, and then you'll be able to have thinner, longer battery life, powerful laptops.
Yeah, that seems pretty great. I feel like we haven't had a big leap in RAM advancement or tech. Right. You know, we see a lot of really big leaps in hard drive technology and SSDs and NMMV or whatever it's called. Like
NVMe.
Yeah, big giant leaps in those things, right? But RAM always seems like, it's just RAM. Yeah, it's DDR4. Okay, DDR5. Okay, it's faster. But we don't really, I never feel like we're just like leaping over the moon with that. It sounds like this is at least on a portable level, this is like a kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and actually, Bombbots points out a good thing. Manufacturers can decide not to make the laptop slimmer and just fill it with more battery, and then you get like crazy long battery life if you want.
Yeah.
It's a matter of whether you want the battery life or the weight to come down.
Yeah, it is interesting though, as battery tech seems to stall in terms of like advancement. The goal or the answer is, we'll advance all these other technologies to be smaller, thinner, and less power consumptive, and then the battery is in effect improved, right? You get better battery life just because everything else is less power.
Squeeze more
dependent.
out of what you got.
Yeah, I'm fine with that direction if that's the way we got to go. You know, you only do so much with batteries until we start putting hydrogen and shit and things.
I know it gets to be a little alphabet soup with this, but just remember LPCAM. And if you're into buying a gaming laptop and you see that in the specs, then now you know what it means. It means that this is not taking as much space in there and is upgradable. And that's the other benefit as a consumer is if you're buying a laptop and you're buying one with LPCAM, you don't have to buy the maximum RAM you think you'll ever need because it's soldered onto the board. You can just buy what you're comfortable paying for now, knowing that you can go and upgrade it later.
Yep. Well, it sounds interesting, especially if you like to take your gaming on the go.
Yeah, gaming laptops kind of a bigger deal these days because they're getting to be more on parity with the desktops. And if you can get the same thing, why not take the one that you can move around, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's awesome. Today we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about, like I said, a little deeper look from the digital artist perspective on this new iPad and pencil stuff. And whether or not that upgrade is good for you. So watch for that. And lots of other cool tech stuff happening today. Tom Merritt, anything else going on that you'd like to tell us about?
Free tech newsletter at freetechnewsletter.com. You get it once a week on Thursdays. And if you kick in a little bit, $70 a year, like it's really not that much, you'll get it every day, Monday through Friday. I'm working on it right now. This Micron story I just talked about is going in there with a little more explanation and some links. It is my attempt to keep you so informed every day in your inbox that when you listen to DTNS, you'll be like, oh, okay, now I'm up for the opinions and the conversation. This gives you, 5 great stories, 5 stories for context, some interesting reads, and then you're out.
Yeah.
So go check it out, freetechnewsletter.com.
Very nice. Tom Merritt, everybody. We will see you a little bit later on the Daily Tech News Show. We'll see you then. And if you haven't listened to last week's live episode that he did, do, because it was great.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
It's some great guests on there. That's the thing I remember the most about it was what great guests he had.
Yeah. And also, dude, we were the best guest. Name another better guest than this.
Yeah, there's no better. No better.
No. There's a reason it was just me and Brian up there, by the way. It's because we're the best.
Because you're the best. And there's, no Brian stepping on people's good morning internets or anything like that or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like perfect.
Yeah, we got a shoujo Let's Go Buttholes right before we started.
We did.
That made me happy. We didn't see her near enough at this thing, by the way.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. She was busy, I guess. Had stuff.
Sure.
Also, one other quick thing about that was, I noticed Tom's audio never has issues when he doesn't send video, except for that thing at the beginning. But
that he sounded fantastic. But yeah, that was the drawback. We didn't get video of Tom.
Yeah, so I think that helps us narrow down the problem. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, recommentals, line it up, stick them in, put it out there. Nicole's not online. That's fine. I'm sure she'll show up. Unless she said something recently. Let's see.
She hasn't said anything in our chat about not making it for.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Let's get this going. Here's the sound thing for it.
Well, what do you recommend?
The sound thing. Anyway, hey, it's Recommendals. We like to recommend things and tell you guys about them. And we do it about streaming services, things we've seen, think you might enjoy, sometimes obscure, sometimes not, but always something we like. Or if not, we'll warn you. We'll tell you that it's not so great. All right. Joining us today, we have Randy Jordan. Hello, Randy.
Good morning stream. I am doing great. You are great. You're both doing so great.
Oh, thanks, man. You're doing great also. Thanks for doing great right now. This is great. What we're
Thank
doing
you.
now. Yeah, really great.
Great.
It's good to have you here. Oh, there's Nicole. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
There she is.
Great. We're all great.
Yeah.
I missed it all. I'm sorry. I'm so focused on I'm doing a whole bunch of laser stuff, and I totally forgot today was birthday.
Laser stuff. Uh-oh. Going to take over the world.
Laser stuff.
Yeah.
I had a Girl Scout troop came through, and yeah, it was a whole thing.
You had a girl, like what? They just trampled through the place, and you didn't know they were coming?
No.
You have to use the lasers to get rid of them?
Try them with lasers.
Yeah.
I'm making them all. I'm making them lasering name signs for them. So I taught them how to use the laser. We designed their name, and they got
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
doing the cutter,
yeah.
That's actually
So
great.
they got to tour the shop. It was fun. So.
Well, I'm jealous. I like lasers. They're a good time.
Has anybody else noticed that all the Girl Scout cookies are replicated in every store now?
They are.
Every store. Go into a grocery store and every kind of Girl Scout cookie is there for you right now. It's
like
bizarre.
in different forms, basically. Yeah,
just slightly different names. Some of them they've copied the packaging almost exactly.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I have a neighbor who just makes them, just straight up gets the recipes online
really?
and makes them. Yeah.
Wow.
He has his own Thin Mints, does his own what are they called? Not mimosas. Samoas.
Yeah, mimosas. Sure.
I didn't realize the love of the Samoas because I don't like coconut, and those Thin Mints and Samoas are the 2 top sellers.
I'm with you, Nicole. I hate them. Can't stand them.
I'm not a big coconut guy. I do like the peppermint, or I'm sorry, not, the peanut butter. Ones,
what are those called?
Do-si-dos or tagalongs with chocolate. I like the do-si-dos because that's an oatmeal cookie.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
Oh.
I do miss the just the straight up shortbread, because I would take one of those downstairs with my coffee.
How do you miss it?
I didn't. I do miss it because you guys don't
Wait.
have. Huh?
I'll send you some. I have some left over.
Oh, really? They still? I didn't.
I have cookies still.
The Girl Scouts that came to our door did not have the shortbread ones, or at least
I'll send you some shortbread.
That's
I'll send you some shortbread. I'm looking at them
Nicole,
right here.
Or you could go to my grocery store and you could get Fun Mints and Sodisos.
I mean, I can get Lorna Doones too. Lorna Doone makes a good shortbread.
Randy, do they have the new ones in the store? They're called Adventurefuls.
Oh,
they're like
the brownie.
I haven't caught those yet, but I got really hung up on the knockoff lemon, the lemon ones.
Oh yeah. Lemon Ups.
Lemon Ups.
I like how they're the asylum names for the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The transmorphers of cookies. Yeah.
Instead of lemonades, they're called lemon maids or something.
Yeah. Well, look, we live in a world with Dr. Thunder. We can do it. We've made this happen.
Oh, there are so many Dr. Scott.
I know. There's tons of them.
Oh yeah, we had a
whole thing on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
There's like a list of 50 or something that are common, and then others I've never even heard of. Well, anyway, it's good to have you both here. We're going to get straight to it.
Yay.
And Brian, we're going to play your clip first. This is a thing that you'll have to explain because no one knows.
This is a thing. Yeah, and I'll just say it's not a series, it's not a movie, but it's a series of movies is what I'm recommending today.
Holy crap, here we go.
My car keys, where'd you put them?
Dad, you don't drive anymore.
I know that.
Here, why don't you feed him? Can you do that?
Of course I can.
Those are disturbing
Look at
sounds.
this. How old is he? Like a day old? 2 days old? Oh, he's a smart one, isn't he? What are you going to name him?
I don't know.
Right away, Caesar displayed signs of heightened intelligence. So I kept him, brought my work home.
Man, I want to see these movies again.
Yeah, you need to. They are. I feel confident saying they're probably a lot better than you remember. So that's the Planet of the Apes reboot movies: Rise, Dawn, and War. For Dawn of and Rise, and I had to refresh my memory on what order they came out in because Rise and Dawn both sound like the first movie in the series.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. But Rise is the first one, then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then War for the Planet of the Apes. And these are, we've got the new one coming out this week, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a really good job of leading you to what we saw in that very first 1970s or late 1960s Planet of the Apes film with Charlton Heston and "Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape" and all that stuff. Because basically you're getting all the stuff that happened, even though this is a reboot series, you're getting all that stuff that happened while the astronauts were in space. And I fully believe, based on that first movie, you see newspapers flying around San Francisco during the fight scenes, that they kind of pauses on them for a second, and you see Mars probe or astronauts in Mars probe lost forever or out of contact or whatever. So you're thinking, all right, at some point they are going to do the astronauts coming back to Earth Planet of the Apes storyline.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen in these three movies. These three movies focus on the birth of Caesar, the chimp. You heard him screeching there with mocap, great mocap by Andy Serkis. The evolution and destruction of the simian virus, which in 2011 seemed really silly to see all these people walking around with face masks and wiping out a significant portion of the population. And interesting, about 9 years later. And then you get in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, you get so in that first one you get your Franco, your John Lithgow, what's her name from Slumdog Millionaire, Frida Pinto.
Yeah, she's great.
She is great. Second movie, you get that dude who is so much better in this than he was as a Terminator in Terminator Genesis.
I love him. He's good in lots of stuff. Australian actor. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, plays a guy named Malcolm who is one of the surviving humans. They find that there's this hydroelectric dam that they can go and fix that's going to restore power to San Francisco and help these survivors live. But to get to it, they need to go through the apes camp out in the Muir Woods. And so there's that whole deal.
He's by the way, that guy is has my exact birthday. He and I were born the same day.
Jay Courtney, I think, is what Monica is saying. His name is
even like the same couple of hours or something like that.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Wow. And then the third movie, War for the Planet of the Apes, you've got a military faction led by Woody Harrelson as the colonel. And
he chews it up, man.
He really does. I'm loving this side of Woody Harrelson's acting. It's really incredible. But the whole thing's really good. You get this evolution of a character, Caesar, this chimp who kind of leads all of these other different apes, whether they're orangutans or gorillas or bonobos. You got a Koba the bonobo.
Yep.
And leads them into this kind of future where eventually they're going to rule the world. And I don't know what's going to happen in Kingdom, but I do know that several characters that we saw in the original Planet of the Apes film, we start seeing them in these movies, and I love these new introductions to these characters.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Matt Reeves, who did the last two, now the Batman guy, he's not back for this new one, so I have some concerns because I think he's the one that really killed it. Like, the first movie's okay. It's a good establishing thing. It's not him who made it, but him picking up the reins for the two sequels just really elevated those. Those are really, really... Like, the vision is real good in those two movies.
It really is.
So I hope they can keep going. That would be nice,
Who's the new guy? It's somebody that has done stuff that we've seen and liked before, though. Kingdom.
The new one.
Here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Wes Ball.
Who?
Who is it?
Ball.
Wes Ball. Wes Ball. Okay.
They said
this is the Maze
Ball.
Runner guy. He directed the Maze Runner movies.
Were those good?
Okay.
I didn't see them.
Never saw any of those.
As they were as good as they needed to be. They fit. No, seriously, they fit their genre. They fit their audience. They checked a bunch of boxes. They were perfectly good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it just because I think there's a lot to build on, and I'm sure he'll do fine. But these last two, and the new one's set way ahead, right, Brian? I think it's further down the history. Caesar's dead.
Yeah. So let's see. The first one, obviously. The future, the near future. Then the second one is 10 years later for Dawn, 2 years later for War, and I don't know where Kingdom is, but that would make sense because I think you're seeing the evolution of a character who was introduced in the last movie as Bad Ape, which was Timothy Zahn's character. I might be wrong, or it might be Caesar's son. It's probably Caesar's son.
I think Caesar's dead.
Caesar died. Well, no.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Should I?
Yeah, but I also think it's long enough that even if we didn't know that, I think he would be dead anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We're already 17 years since the first movie in the timeline before we get to Kingdom. So
chat says it's a couple thousand years forward. I don't think that's right, is it?
I don't think that far. Let's see. Does it say? Oh, actually, yes. 300 years after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes is where Kingdom takes place. So
that means some gorillas on horses, baby. Let's go.
It's gorillas on horses, and all right. Well, then okay. All right. I'm interested. Interested in this whole development. I did not know that there was that much time between War and Kingdom. Interesting.
That's awesome. Cool. And you're seeing it this weekend.
Seeing it Friday night. Dinner with the folks tomorrow night, and then Planet of the Apes Friday night. So I'll talk about it a little bit, probably in the Film Sack pre-show, without giving any spoilers.
All right, cool. And where are these all streaming currently?
Oh, yes. They are all streaming on Hulu, which is amazing when you consider, right before a movie comes out that there's prequels for. Usually they pull them from all the streaming services so that you spend money to rent them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not in this case. You can watch all three of them back to back to back on Hulu, and they're great. It is a great way to watch these films, and I did it throughout the entire time that I was flying to and enjoying TMS Las Vegas. This was great filler for like, all right, need to get to sleep. Let me watch a half an hour of Planet of the Apes films. So
nice, good
Yeah.
catch up.
so
Cool.
yeah, watch them all three back to back to back, and then go see Kingdom.
Hulu or Disney Hulu, depending on how you have it arranged.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I can't believe it's been 7 years
Since that last one, yeah.
Yeah,
third
I
one
mean,
and
it's
this
been a
one.
whole pandemic since the the last one.
Yeah. What
The
year was
other ones
that?
are coming out in Star Wars time, right? 3 years between each one, and then this last
Yeah,
one.
whereas Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is coming out in like Orville time. We'll get a fifth movie when we get a third season of the Orville.
I sure hope we do eventually get a third season of the Orville.
That would
we
be
got
nice.
we got a third season. I should have said fourth season.
Oh, fourth season. Yeah. There were 3.
Okay.
Uh,
Hey, Beanfork is in this, by the way. Kevin Durand
oh,
is
look
in
at that.
Kingdom,
that's right. He's great.
and William Macy. Yeah, you're gonna get all these guys in the upcoming fourth movie.
I'm down with that. William H. Macy. What's he?
He plays a human named Trevathan.
And he says, "I'm. The heck do you mean? It's my deal, Wade." That kind of thing.
That's right. But Kevin Durand, Beanfork plays a bonobo.
Oh, well, good.
By the way, Scott,
He's
the
a
reason
bonobo fork.
the reason for you to watch the Maze Runner movies,
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito's in there.
Oh, I like him.
He's amazing.
All right. He bad guy, probably. I assume.
I'm saying nothing.
Okay. He makes chicken, and runs the meth thing in the state he's in.
It's not a totally different story.
Okay, excellent. I'll watch it. Let's move on to Nicole Spagnolo. You've got a clip here for a thing. Tell us a little bit about what we got here.
I absolutely love it. It's a series on Netflix. I can't get enough of it. I'm so happy. Cool. I'm so happy. They did this series. I was introduced to this idea, I guess the storyline, back when I recommended Doom Patrol, which I still recommend, though the first season is the best season of Doom Patrol. It kind of gets worse from there on. But
a little off the rails, yeah. A little bit.
It goes off the rails. But that's okay. That's a fun show. Sure. So I was introduced. They did not use the same actors, which I'm actually okay with.
It's a little weird.
HBO did not pick up the spinoff, but Netflix did and integrated it into the Sandman universe. So let's go.
I thought it was. Didn't Netflix have? They had the Sandman show, right?
Yeah, Sandman is the show, and they've tied this show into that show, so it's in the same universe.
Cool.
What does HBO have to? It's not. What does HBO have to do with it, though? Did they have the show?
Because HBO did Doom Patrol.
Oh, you're saying? Oh, I didn't realize. Now I'm getting it. I didn't know there was like crossover with that. That's weird.
Yep.
So
it's
is
a
this
DC
all
property?
Oh, it is DC. Duh, just like Sandman is. Duh.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. It's wonderful. I absolutely love it. It gives me strong Pushing Daisies vibes. I miss that show so much, and this kind of hits some of those notes, and I absolutely love it.
All right.
I highly, highly recommend it.
Here's your clip for some of what this is.
Charles, that was a job well done. Yeah, pretty chuffed about it myself, except for the part where he choked me. Death. She's here.
Hello, Wilfred.
Sorry, do I know you?
We've met before. Yes.
There's a lot of British people in here. Like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So this is the Dead Boy Detectives, and you heard Death, who was in Sandman.
In Sandman. Okay.
Same actress that plays Death in Sandman plays Death in Dead Boy Detectives.
Okay.
So you're introduced to Charles and Erwin. I can't remember. Anyway,
something like that. That sounds right.
Yeah. So you have these two boys that Edwin died in 1917, I believe, in a botched satanic ritual. It's so weird.
Aren't they always?
Yeah.
And he goes to hell. He escapes hell. He meets Charles, who died in the 80s, and they're avoiding death. So that's why in that clip that I sent you, they're hiding from death so she doesn't take them, because they feel they're trying to right wrongs of ghosts that have not moved on. And so each episode is them kind of going through their detective work to either free someone from a curse, free someone from, a different kind of monster. So there's just a lot of fun, and it's actually fun. It's funny. It's serious. I just absolutely adore it and love it. And because it integrates into that Sandman world universe, Neil Gaiman wrote this, so it's just a lot of fun. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I highly recommend.
Cool.
Someone asked what happened to the Ape Girl. Ape Girl, that's Doom Patrol. So in Doom Patrol, that's how I was introduced to the Dead Boys Detective, because they have an episode in Doom Patrol called Death Patrol. And there's actually three. There's the two Dead Boys, and then there's a girl psychic that's part of the team. That's the team. And so in this new spinoff, they show how they meet her, and her name's Crystal, and how she kind of plays a role in the detective agency. So it's a lot of fun. I just love it.
It's reviewing very well, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 87 audience score. That's really strong.
I need a second season. I desire a second season. Please watch this.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Anybody,
to understand it's R-rated, what's that coming from?
So
R-rated TV, right?
The first, it's there's a lot of cussing, but there are some graphic things in this show. There is an episode about a father killing a family, and you get to witness it. It's a little intense.
Okay.
So I wouldn't let Mateo watch that, but it deals with a lot of trauma. So Charles, for instance, he's kind of going through like how you're learning how they died, the life that they lived. And so you kind of dive into all of that stuff, and it's heavy stuff. So, it talks about suicide, it talks about abuse, and there's also, they go to this town. There's a witch, the actress that plays the witch, wonderful. And that was one of the first cases. That actually is the first episode. You get introduced to the witch, and then you go to this town, and eventually they get locked into the town by the Cat King. And so it just seems so ridiculous as I'm saying
when you just the description, trust me, the show's better than the description, right?
It sounds like, it sounds like your typical gaming kind of thing, right?
Yeah, totally. So it's funny. It can be lighthearted, even though we're dealing with very heavy topics, death, abuse, all of that. There's heart to it as they're going through each of these cases to put people at peace.
Yeah.
So, and you find out why the Dead Boy detectives. Eventually, you do find out why the Dead Boy detectives are doing what they're doing and trying to avoid death. And you're going to get introduced, because it's a series. You get introduced to some really fun characters. So the apartment that they're renting, Crystal is renting, because the Dead Boys detectives, they don't need an apartment, but Crystal does. So you still have to deal with the real, the human world. So you get introduced to the butcher. She's very goth and funny. And again, lots of Pushing Daisy kind of quirky vibes that go on in this series.
That's
So,
great. I missed that show, so I'm with you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Seriously. Did you like Sandman? Did you watch Sandman?
I still haven't seen Sandman either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you
So
have seen it,
Sandman
Brian. I couldn't remember. Did someone
Yeah.
recommend it here? You probably did.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure I did.
I still haven't watched it. Yeah.
Sandman is a lot heavier than this. So if you know you're looking for something a little lighthearted, but like, but still kind of has a great storyline and character development, Dead Boys Detectives. Sandman is a little bit darker.
Yeah.
A lot darker.
I didn't.
A lot heavier.
The original Sandman. Let's see. Sandman 25, issue 25 from 91 is where these characters were first shown, and then later they got their own comic series in the early aughts and stuff. I never even knew this existed. I never even heard of the Dead Boys Detectives.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
And I love Vertigo stuff. I love all the adult label DC stuff, and I didn't know this was even a thing. So I feel like I could catch up.
From what I understand, they created Dead Boy Detective was originally, I guess they first premiered in Sandman,
right?
And then they created a more adult comic book for the characters. So you have Edwin, you have Charles, you have Crystal. Those are the three that make up the Dead Boy Detectives. Then you have Jenny, who is the butcher that they rent a room from, and she's very weird and quirky. You have Nico, which you will be introduced to in the second episode, and I adore her. And her case gets introduced. You get some sprites that are introduced, and they're hilarious. It's just fun. It's just a fun show.
I'm interested in this character named David the Demon. I want to know more about him.
So David the Demon is harassing Crystal. That's her old boyfriend.
Okay. This is so much. This is so gaming. Everything you're saying is Neil Gaiman.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you meet Mick, who used to be a walrus, and he wants to be a.
Yeah, this all tracks. It all tracks.
And I love his story too, and how he became a human, and how he wants to go back to being a walrus.
Wow.
And then I woke up.
Yep. Right. This is great.
So yeah, separated from, if you're familiar with the Dead Boy Detectives from Doom Patrol, separated from that, this is in the Sandman universe on Netflix.
Cool.
So sorry.
All right. Very nice.
Love it.
I want to see it now. You have convinced me to watch this and Sandman finally.
I had a really hard time separating Doom Patrol and Paw Patrol in my head, in my brain.
Yeah, very different properties.
Very different. Yeah.
Very different. Yeah, so different.
Have you watched Doom Patrol?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I watched it. I watched it with Brian and the Tadpool, and we
did Couch Party season 1.
Season 1, and really enjoyed season 1. But I'm told not to continue.
Just stay with season.
Okay.
Stop at season 1. Don't go to season 2.
I
don't know. I think there's a lot of fun stuff in the later seasons.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, the first season is the best season. I think.
I guess you do get introduced to the Dead Boy Detectives as I think is it season 2?
Season 2. You are correct. It's in season 2.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is streaming on Netflix. Go check it out. Dead Boy Detectives. Randy, let's throw it over to you. What do you got for us this week?
Well, this week I reverted to 2020. And you know what that means, right? Like when you suddenly find yourself needing to watch something that you've seen before for comfort.
You needed some comfort. Yeah, sure.
Like in 2020, there are so many series that I watched from beginning to end and had already seen before, right? Like I remember telling you guys about rewatching MASH from the beginning to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a 500-hour experience.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot.
So this is something I hadn't seen since it came out as a box set of DVDs. And it just hit streaming a few days ago. And I was like, I'm going to see if I like it. Oh my gosh, I had such a good time with this.
I'm very, very curious. I've been itching for a rewatch. Everyone around me is talking about it. There must be a little bit of something going on with this.
Carter brought it up on Monday.
Yeah, I really want to play. Anyway, watch.
I'd like to play it too. But
I'd like to play it as well.
It's on rails. You can't really change the outcome.
They do have a game, but I don't think it's very good. Anyway, here is your clip.
Mark II. Haven't seen one of these in about 20 years. If the commander will take a closer look,
At the tail numbering, Nebula 7242, Constellation.
Oh my God. Where did you find her?
Rusting out in a salvage yard in Sagittarian. We had hoped the commander would allow her to participate in the decommissioning ceremony.
She'll fly.
Oh, yes, sir. We've restored the engines, patched the guidance system, replaced much of the flight control.
You guys are
She's
amazing.
fueled, armed, ready for launch, sir. Commander.
What? More?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's bucking for a promotion around here.
I am recommending Battlestar Galactica the mini series because it's the prelude to the Battlestar Galactica series. I'm not ready to recommend
the entire series.
People, if you haven't seen this or if you haven't seen it in a long time, maybe start. Of course you're going to start with this, but like give this mini series a shot and see if you want to go on with the intensity of it, because that's the thing. Like I kind of defeated my own purpose here. It gets so intense so fast, and it's not as comforting as I kind of wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've got an all new remastered transfer of at least the miniseries, what I watched, and it's been all compiled into one episode. I remember it being 2 or 3 episodes back in the day, but right now it is a 3-hour movie, the miniseries. If you go to Amazon Prime and start it, it's a 3-hour movie. It's incredible. Like if this didn't exist and it just came out as a 3-hour movie made by Christopher Nolan or something, it would be winning awards. Like it's so freaking good, guys.
Yeah, I love it. I love everything about that show, but it leaves a really strong impression. And Brian and I, Brian last week just brought up the episode where they have to keep beating the clock.
The very first episode after the miniseries.
Yeah, it comes in right after that. So it really holds up that intensity really well, that episode.
I love that, yeah.
But we are huge fans in this house. We have 2 animals named after characters from it. We just love it. And so I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the need to go back and do another watch.
I was too. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the miniseries, at least. Like even having all those feelings, there were a bunch of things that were like, I haven't seen this in 15 years. I wonder, I wonder what I've forgotten, and kind of the answer is most everything. And what I'd really forgotten was how they use music and they use visuals constantly to almost bombard you. Like I had a really hard time finding a clip that didn't have music playing under the dialogue.
Yeah.
Like this was kind of a boring clip, but like, it's so different. And the whole point of it, by the way, is Ronald D. Moore proving that things can be different than Star Trek, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so like all of the things about it that you're like, oh, this is really kind of revolutionary for television. It's all just different than Star Trek is what it is.
Yeah, he came straight off of Star Trek to do this project, and I remember at the time going, "Oh, it's just going to feel like Star Trek," because that's what he's been doing for the last 8 years over on TNG and DS9 and stuff. Couldn't have been more different.
No, it's not a monster of the week kind of thing. I mean, it's a very compelling, overarching story. And then you mentioned the music. Bear McCreary's soundtrack to this thing is just spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, this miniseries is Richard Gibbs' music.
Oh, it's not McCreary wasn't involved in the.
Yeah,
oh,
I had to look it up because I was like, I started this thing and I'm like, gosh, there's a lot of music. They're playing music while I'm trying to hear the dialogue. What is this? And I was like, I have all these soundtracks, and I'm like, I need to understand this better. So so Richard Gibbs writes the music to this, and then apparently feels done.
Yeah, and then turns for the first episode of the main series, turns the reins over to McCreary.
What's interesting is this is an interesting thing for the genre, because I always watch for this. When a musical standard is established and then sticks is kind of rare in films and genres, and one of them is a good example would be like zombie stuff didn't really have that country guitar twang thing until Walking Dead, and then suddenly all your zombie properties and video games use that kind of motif for their backing. It feels like when McCreary, and before him, is it Gibb? You said is his name? What was his name? First music guy? Randy?
Richard Gibbs? Is that what you said, Randy?
Richard Gibbs.
Okay, Richard Gibbs.
Richard Gibbs.
They established a whole new sound for science fiction, that kind of like tribal drum stuff and all that. And now everything does something like it.
Like everything, yeah.
And I don't see it as a bad thing. I think it's like it established this thing, and everyone went, "Yep, that's right. That is correct."
Yeah,
So,
you don't have to have theremins and Moog synthesizers and everything else for your sci-fi film. Use, some great analog instruments to.
Yeah.
I'd like to question The Walking Dead being the beginning of that thing you just mentioned, because Zombieland comes before it. I want to go listen to Zombieland and see if that's actually where that sound changes.
Yeah, it's possible, but they it feels like now they're just all like that, especially games. The games all do it. And in the case of space stuff with this like more drum based, like I say, almost tribal sound, it's such my jam. I love it so much when I hear it, and I always think back to that. So yeah, go watch that show, dude. It all landed on Prime, the whole damn thing.
Oh, and you know where we know Richard Gibbs from, Brian?
No.
Oingo Boingo. Oingo Boingo, man.
Richard Gibbs was a member of Oingo Boingo?
Yeah. Along with who? Danny Elfman?
Well, I mean, yeah, you had your Danny Elfman, Johnny Votto. So I'm trying to think, was Gibbs one of the brass section? I'm not remembering Richard Gibbs as being a
keyboard.
Yeah.
Keyboardist.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gibbs was keyboard player for the new wave band Oingo Boingo from 80 to 84. He's also a session
right
player.
there in their seminal starting time. Interesting.
Yeah. And he did music for the first season of The Simpsons. That was Elfman's intro. But
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
If I'm so glad TVZ Gone is not listening, because he'd kick my butt for not remembering Richard Gibbs. Apparently,
yeah, no kidding. Hey, that's a guy I missed in Vegas.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was coming.
Hey, Nicole and I are right here.
Yeah, I missed you guys, but you guys had we knew you weren't coming.
Of course, we missed you. We kept talking about how we wish you guys were there and how much I'd love to.
Yeah, you guys have standard
torture you guys with some
I think I'll be able to do that. I could do it next year.
Yay!
That'd be great.
How exciting would a meetup in St. Louis be?
St. Louis.
We'll host it at the shop.
Well, just the words meet up in St. Louis make me
it's a song.
all warm and tingly inside. Yeah.
It's a song waiting to be written. All right, I'm gonna.
By the way,
yeah.
By the way, I had forgotten the most about Battlestar Galactica was how Katie Sackhoff is so amazing. I had just completely forgotten it. She is a masterwork from her first scene. And I just completely forgotten. I was like, in my mind, it was, Edward James Olmos and Mary McDonnell,
Oh no,
and,
man. Starbuck.
Man,
Yeah.
Katie Sackhoff. It's like I'm shocked she didn't get Emmys for this thing.
She's fantastic. I love her. I love her now. I love her forever. She's one of my favorite people to watch. All right, let's get to this thing I watched on Hulu. And boy howdy, I don't even know how to describe this.
This is some wild stuff.
Yeah, documentary. Here's the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
If you put what we're about to show you in a movie, I doubt anybody would believe it.
Centers on a man trying to win his way out of a tiny apartment.
Surviving just on the prizes from magazine sweepstakes.
It's the hit of the season.
Every week, more than 30 million people tune in to watch some young hopeful endure intense hardship. Japan's latest human experiment in popular television.
The producers say he doesn't even know he's on television.
He could leave at any time. The door isn't locked.
His delight at winning is apparently genuine, even if it's dog food or something inedible.
We're trying to show the most basic, primitive form of human being.
All right, if you guys thought the Truman Show was interesting, turns out it can get a lot darker than that. So it's not quite the same because the guy knows he's in a contest, but what the contest is
well, yeah, he knows a little bit
like
about
jury
it,
duty, like jury duty.
It's worse than that.
No.
Oh no, jury
but
duty's nice.
On the surface, if jury duty would have gone horribly wrong, then this is like jury duty.
Yeah. So this is called The Contestant. It's about a Japanese reality star. He is left naked in a room for more than a year. His whole job is filling out sweepstakes and like entry forms for magazine sweepstakes to survive. So that's how he earns food, and that's how he earns clothes.
He lives off the things that he wins on these sweepstakes.
Yeah. And as a short-term thing, let's say a 90-day thing, that sounds reasonable. Good Lord, they put him through hell, dude. I still to this moment cannot believe all the stuff I saw in this documentary. I'm going to not spend much time talking about too many details because I think this should be watched by people who are interested, and I don't want to spoil it. But Tomoke Hamutsu, I think is how you say his name. He's your main dude. He was at the time just kind of this goofball that thought he could get a little stardom by doing this. It's all very like, any reality show. They send in tapes to convince them
Audition,
that they're all that stuff. Yeah. And a lot of this movie is told by the producers and the makers of the show, and then him himself and everybody. The one guy that ran the show, is it Yoon, I think is his name. That guy,
the villain,
he's the devil.
He is the evil dude, freaking evil. Yeah. But again, they kind of go all out. And you know how Japanese game shows are all kind of ridiculous anyway. It's like, a guy walked into what he thought was a house, sat on a chair, and then the chair fell and disappeared, and now he's on a water slide in the middle of some water park, and he had no idea. Like, they're always a little bit weird and out there and a little more hardcore than we're used to. But this is an example of people were really into it, and they were watching it. This is all in the 90s. And they were really into what was happening day to day. And it was presented in such a way that everyone just figured this guy was fine. A little wacky, a little goofy, whatever. But it's like almost the worst kind of torture you can freaking imagine.
I can't imagine the humiliation that they put him through. I mean, it is so hard to watch what he's going through. And hearing about the stories, and even seeing the stuff that they edit into a friendly package, and then he starts eating dog food. I don't want to give too much away, but
they add these overlays to try to make you feel better about the horrors you're seeing.
Yeah, and it was also it had a real 90s, like their heads are floating, green screen weirdness. Just very wacky. And if you know Japanese, you probably even get more out of it because they don't translate everything, but it's a mix of English and also like that clip I played, there's a lot of reaction around the world about what they're seeing. I'll leave it at that. It's worth seeing to see kind of whether this works for other people or whether you'll enjoy it. I thought it was a really well-made documentary. That's what I always look for. I don't care. Subject matter is important, but for me what matters most is non-sensationalism, no music cues and zooming up on people's faces to get reactions. I don't like reenactments. Like that stuff I shy away from. This is not those. This is a good, well-made, well thought out documentary with all the right people involved, answering all the questions you have. It's very good and available now.
So when we both watched this last week, we started talking about recommending it, and I immediately started pushing you to recommend it. And the reason, it took me a while to realize why. The reason is about 35 minutes into it, Samantha was done. She was just like, that's it. Yeah. And it's when you find out how long he was in for the first time.
Right.
When that is revealed, it's painful, And so she was just like, I don't want to watch this. Yeah. And the next day I watched the rest of it. And the thing I want to say to someone who is going to be okay watching kind of torture is there are contemporary interviews with the people involved, all of them. Like the contemporary interviews are pretty good. Like they kind of make up for the difficulties of what happened 30 years ago. Kind of. It's still like, I can't recommend this to people who are really sensitive to other suffering.
And if you're claustrophobic, I think you'll feel something here. God, like a little bit of
pass, Wikipedia. I'll just
you go read about it.
Nicole will read the cliff notes.
Yeah. It just feels crazy that it even happened, but it's very interesting. And I don't know the whole backstory about that, how he grew up with the weird kind of his face was longer than other kids, and how much shit he took for that. That added some stuff to like why you'd want to go.
There's so many people in the tadpole who've been bullied and that sort of thing. So that you might get a little bit of triggering from that too. Just like the.
Yeah, I liked. You know what I liked though was I don't like it, but it's something I noticed when they showed video of him like 30 days in. Noticeably thinner. Like that guy was losing tons of weight. He was bones by the time 90 days rolled around.
Yeah, they were worried. I mean, you find this out, but they started worrying about him and his lack of winning sweepstakes stuff. So
yeah, it's something, man.
Yeah, it's It's this would I talk about how much I enjoy the reality competition shows like Survivor and Amazing Race. They don't humiliate their contestants. People who go into those things know what they're getting into. They've been told, here's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be on TV. This situation far darker and far more humiliating.
Yeah, this is real. Like Brandy says, it's freaking torture. Like they're torturing
time
him.
And place, though. It's time and place.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, or any time after 2000, if you're making a show like this, you've got people signing contracts and waivers. You're paying them. You're paying them in advance. Like this guy should have become the executive producer of his own show very quickly. Like after a certain time frame, right? Like people are aware of what they're doing. And so this is just a bizarre time and place. I just man, you kind of have to watch it to understand just how weird it is.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
I recommend it though, if you're into that sort of thing. It's on Hulu. Got a lot of Hulu today. So go check it out. These will all be up on quicktms.li. They're already there, I noticed. And
they are. Yep.
You can go find those, find all the old ones we talked about as well. It's great having you guys on. Nicole, you got anything fun coming up? You got anything you want to tell people about or anything cool?
Hey, if you're interested in learning woodworking, I have a scholarship to our online woodworking school that just opened up. It's going to be available, the application. You can apply until the end of June. So if you go to thewoodwhisperer.com/scholarship, learn all about it. And if you're one of the recipients, you'll get 3 courses in our online woodworking school on the Guild.
Nice.
Oh, very
We're
cool.
also having and if you don't want to wait, we're having a sale right now.
Yeah.
So like over 60 projects or courses you can build. Learn to build your own furniture.
That's right. And it's not a cult. Okay, you guys. It's,
No, not at all.
Hashtag not a cult.
Not a cult.
Not a cult at all.
Just teach you how to build furniture.
Yeah. Your Lord and founder, Mark Spagnolo, only wants the best for you.
Right.
Nicole, have a great week. Randy, anything going on for you want to mention?
Just getting ready to watch John Singleton's first movie.
Oh yeah, Boys in the Hood there over on the film sack. We're going to sack that this weekend. We know it's a serious film, everybody. We know that it's controversial in some ways, but I think we got the chops. We're ready.
I think we can handle it. I feel like we might be able to handle it.
After the last few things we've seen, I need something serious. It's been kind of garbagey. So,
let me recommend a road trip film starring a pop singer from Louisiana.
Oh no. Not again. It's coming back.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch it.
You told me you were gonna watch it when we talked last time on Film Sack. And
I'm blaming Brian Dunaway for us not watching it on Film Sack. It's perfectly good.
When you do finally get around to watching it, Randy, I feel like you're gonna be like, all right, yeah, maybe Brian was right. Both Brians were right.
Maybe the Brian saved you and I.
The Brian that watched it and the Brian that didn't watch it were both right.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Randy,
I'll see you this weekend.
Bye now.
Cool.
Bye. Right, off he goes into the wild Randy yonder.
That's right.
Let's see here. We got one more thing to do before we go, and that is to read this here text. The title is That Name. And they say this, Brian. They say, a few weeks ago, you guys were wondering where I came up with the name Pasta Matt. Do you remember this?
I do, yeah. We were
kind of remember.
He wrote in or texted in or something, and we were wondering about his name.
Yeah, and he says, when I was creating my second character in World of Warcraft, a paladin, I was trying to come up with a name for her. I also was getting hungry and trying to figure out what to eat, and that's how I named my paladin Macaroni, then named my priest Lasagna, my mage Fettuccine, and my warlock Spaghetti. The shame of it is that when I switched servers, all the pasta names were already taken. So yeah, Pasta Matt just likes naming his shit after pasta. I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's great. I named my trolls after reggae musicians. So
that's nice. How you doing,
it's all about
man?
What you have to come up with at the time. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that.
Now I'm hungry for pasta. By the way, good job.
Yeah, all this sounds good. Damn it, I get so hungry at the end of our show.
I do too.
Every day. Anyway. What's going on? Send us more of these. 801-471-0462 is the text line if you'd like to email us, themorningstream@gmail.com. You can also leave us voicemails on that same line. That's going to do it for us. Brian, let's get out of here with some music. Do you have a little something?
I have a little something. And it's
Great.
going out to Erica. Erica wrote in and said, hey, Scott and Brian, during COVID, you guys were awesome, parentheses, as always, and did a shout out to my husband, Rob, on your TMS podcast for his birthday. On our TMS podcast.
Our TMS podcast.
It honestly made his day. Our family of four sat down at the table for lunch together and played the episode while we ate. He couldn't believe it. He was so surprised. The look on his face was awesome. Fast forward to today. We're getting ready to celebrate his 50th birthday today, May 8th, and I was wondering if you guys would be open to giving him another shout out on this milestone birthday. A few things to know about Rob. He listens to our podcast all the time. He's a great dad to our two awesome kids, Meredith and Alex, and our rescue pup Mandalorian, who we call Mando, because of course you would have to.
Yeah.
He loves the Foo Fighters, Iron Maiden, and all the Marvel comics and movies, Spider-Man, video games, fishing, and so much more. He loves to learn, is an early tech adopter. He has the best laugh. His laugh brings warmth and happiness to those around him. And he keeps us all grounded. We love him more than he knows. And I'm so lucky to have him as my partner in life. Listen, we all should have an Erica in our lives. If you don't have an Erica in your lives, you need an Erica in your life.
Yeah.
Thanks for your consideration. Please know you'd be helping make the start of his next decade extra special. And if you're ever in Milwaukee, let us know. Thanks again, signed Erica. Erica, look, I want to come back. I want to come back to Milwaukee. I want to come see another Summerfest. I don't know who's playing this year, but, you know, Squeeze is on tour, Crowded House is on tour, Garbage is on tour. How great would it be if Summerfest had two or three of those bands?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, Erica, you wanted a Foo Fighters cover. You mentioned that Rob likes Foo Fighters. I've got a great Foo Fighters cover. This is by Sandy Tom. She released it on her 2013 covers collection called The Covers Collection. It is a cover of Foo Fighters' Times Like These. Here is Sandy Tom.
Love this song. All right, here we go, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Thursday edition of the show. We'll see you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
The audacity!
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Hey, what do you use? What do you use to record your audio?
The audacity!
Oh, well, that's a good one to use. Nothing wrong with that.